Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a monthly budget recap for March 2026 in my Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. As I said in my introduction, we're going to be doing a recap of my March 2026 budget. We are in my monthly spread. As you can see, all of my bills are checked off, and we're going to just jump right in and start talking about my debt payoff. So let's flip forward to the debt payment plan section. I do only currently have one source of debt, which is my Nelnet student loan. My interest rate is a little over 5%, and my student loan is a federal student loan, so it technically does not have a minimum payment due right now, as student loans have been on hold because of the whole SAVE plan situation. I've been paying at least $400 a month towards my student loans, though, because I'm actively trying to get my balance down so that when my employer stops helping me pay my student loans, I'm pretty much paid off. So 400 is what I've set my minimum payment at. And beyond that $400 payment, we didn't really have much extra for the month of March. My employer had their payment for $333.33, which means total debt payments for the month were $733.33. Last month, my debt total was $13,696.95. This month, we're down to $13,030.07. That's a debt progress of $666.88, or 0.9%. I started out in June of 2022 when I purchased my car with a debt total of $70,910.32. With my current monthly debt total, we've paid off $57,880.25, or 81.6%, which is very exciting. It's really exciting to almost be under $13,000. Now we're going to take a peek at my monthly net worth tracker. I closed this out earlier today, April 4th, and last month my net worth was a little over $530,000. If we focus first on assets, I do keep the breakdown of my assets private, but my total assets for the month of March equaled to $515,677.60. We talked on our last page about my liabilities or debt, which equal to $13,030.07. If I subtract those liabilities from my assets, we get my total net worth for the month, which is $502,647.53. That's great, except that it's $28,407.23 less than my net worth last month, which is always a really hard pill to swallow. I, understand that the stock market can be volatile at times, and it's been a pretty challenging month in terms of what's going on politically across the globe. And so I suspect that this loss is related to loss in my retirement accounts, but that's a lot for 1 month. It equals to about 5.3%, which is definitely not my favorite. Next, we're going to be talking about my monthly budget category breakdown, which is my favorite sheet in the closeout section, starting with my starting balance, which is what I brought over into March 2026 from February 26, and that total was $2,225.96. My earned income for the month was $6,688.24. Other income was mostly that payment that my employer makes towards my student loans. And then also, I think I had a refund from something I purchased on Amazon. So $366.14. But we used a heck of a lot of savings in the month of March. I paid for a vacation that I'm going to be going on, and that's what a bunch of this is. But I also had to pay for some work on my vehicle, so that's included in here as well. That total is $6,936.69, which means my total monthly inflow is $16,217.03. Now, I didn't fill out the difference column here. I hopefully will go back and finish that off, but I didn't get to before filming this. For food, this was a major shocker. I do not remember the last time I spent this much money on food in a month. I don't remember the last time I went over budget in food, but my food total for the month was $656.23, which was $50 over my monthly budget. Gas was still under budget, which is great. I feel like that's going to go over budget in April, but I spent $65. I do have a hybrid vehicle, so I don't go through gas as quickly. Miscellaneous, I spent 74, so under budget in that category. And then miscellaneous bills, $1,126.08, but that is lower than it has been the last few months. So happy about that. Utilities were $328.29, which was great. This was a little bit lower than the last few months because I was able to get my home phone internet cable bill down. And then I also paid off my phone, so my cell phone bill went down a little bit as well. Housing is just my rent, so that was right on for $600. Giving is my church contribution at $20. Debt, here's where things look a little bit different from what you would anticipate looking at my debt payoff plan. I did put $733.33 towards my student loan debt in the month of March, but I purchased my laptop. I got my laptop in March. It's functioning amazingly. I'm so happy, so pleased with it. And I have been slowly paying that off with each paycheck that I receive. So total debt between my student loan and then paying off that laptop, $3,123.33. Personal, that's stuff like Spotify, Kindle Unlimited, Hulu. I don't have Hulu. Netflix. There we go. Things that are not necessities, but I still spend some money on regularly. And that was $61.63. And then savings, definitely way less than usual. Big part of that is because I'm actively paying off that laptop. And then the biggest category for the month was my sinking funds category because of paying for that vacation. So over $6,900 there. My April starting balance is $1,365.27. That's the cash that I'm rolling over from March into April 2026. And all of that added together is $16,220.03, which means I was off by $3. I'm not sure why. I didn't feel the need to go back and look for it. If it was a larger amount, I definitely would have, but I'm fine with being off by $3. And that is it for my March 2026 monthly budget recap. I feel like my March budget is a little bit hard to look at. I think the food spending is a shocker. I think not having put a lot towards my savings overall is not my favorite, but right now I have this laptop bill that I'm trying to pay off quickly. So my money is going towards what it needs to go towards. It's just hard not having it go towards what I want it to go towards. So I'm hoping that in the month of April, I can, fingers crossed, pay the laptop off and then start contributing towards my house savings more effectively. That's definitely a goal for me. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments about the way that I budget, the products that I use, please do not hesitate to put a comment down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.